Hey, so you guys are going to be taking out my stitches with me. I have stitches in my shin, which is why this is an easier video to do. Normally stitches are going to be in your face. That's where most stitches happen. Giving stitches is something that absolutely a doctor should be doing, but removing stitches is not something that you have to go to a doctor for. They will tell you to go to a doctor to have them removed, but I've removed all my stitches other than the ones that I can't see. So if they're up in the hairline or back here, like literally a place I can't see, I'll have someone else remove them for me, but I don't go to a doctor to have them removed. I just have one of the boys from the gym or my trainer or Kevin, if he's able to see it, that kind of thing. They're very easy to remove. It's not something I would call a skill, but there are ways to do it safely and a few pieces of advice on where to cut it and that kind of thing. So the first thing you want to do is sterilize everything. So I have rubbing alcohol. I've soaked my equipment in rubbing alcohol already, but I also just have a spray that I'm gonna spray the stitches as well. So let's come down here. So here are my stitches. I've got 5 of them in here. I'm just gonna go ahead and spray that. One of the reasons you wanna clean the stitches before you start is that the outside, like these stitches coming across here on the outside of my body, in order to get them out, they're gonna come through my body. They're gonna thread out. So you just want to make sure that you're really sterilizing everything that's going to be now pulled through your skin. It takes alcohol 30 seconds to kill all of the little bacteria on whatever you spray it on. So if you're soaking your equipment or if you're spraying the wound or any of the thing, you want to wait then 30 seconds before actually doing anything, because that's how long it takes to sterilize. My other pieces of equipment are tweezers in order to hold the stitches. And then I use these little like cuticle clippers. You can also use a razor. But I find these easier because with a razor you have to kind of like saw at the stitch, and with the nail clippers you don't have to do anything, you just clip it. The thing that you want to pay attention to, in my experience, is the knot. So usually if you have stitches in your face, they're going to be very, very tight stitches, like meaning the loop is very, very small. And so you can clip the knot off and end up with sutures still in your skin. This is unideal because it can cause infection. You get a little pus in there. They will eventually come out. Like I had this skin up here is very, very thin. So the stitches in this kind of skin is very tiny. Like the loop is going to be really, really little. I've had pieces of stitches get stuck in the skin. They will eventually come out, which means that like months and months down the line, you get this little like brundlefly hair sticking out of your skin, and it's actually part of a suture and you can just pull it out. It doesn't hurt at all. Unideal though. So you want to try to make sure you're getting all of the stitch on your first try. We'll try to get a good angle on this. So these stitches, because they're in my shin, are actually really nice and long. These are a great example. So what I'm going to do is grab the knot with my tweezers, and then I'm going to cut close to, but not right directly on the knot, because I don't want to cut the knot itself. You basically just give that a little snip. Well, these are really good sutures. They're not coming undone. Oh wow, I might have to go get a razor. Okay, so these are unideal. I'm gonna have to get a razor. Hold on a second. Okay, so plan B, we're going to be using a surgical blade. I can buy these really easily here in Thailand at Fashino. I don't know what the situation is like in other parts of the world for how easily you can purchase that, but they are helpful for this. Okay, so here I'm just going to, again, pull on the knot and then slip my blade under, and now I'm going to have to use a little sawing action. Pull that out and through. So you just want to be really careful not to cut the knot and not to cut in such a way that you're going to be leaving any of the suture in the skin. And this one I'm actually going to go to the other side of the knot because it's shorter, and see if I can always cut away from yourself. There we go. It's coming out nicely. So again, now that I'm cutting on like the short side of the knot, I just want to make sure that I'm not cutting the knot itself. That one was gross. Occasionally you will have like some pus coming out a little bit as you remove these. That's kind of okay. It's just one of those things that like sometimes it does happen, but you really are hoping that everything comes out as clean as possible. If you have any scabs that are kind of like holding the stitch in place, you can usually break that up with some like hydrogen peroxide or rubbing alcohol first. All right, so we've got all 5 of those stitches out. So we're just gonna re-clean that, make sure everything is good there. I have a video already about stitches care, so that's when your stitches are already in and you're going to be cleaning them with alcohol, and you know, like kind of, you can go see that video on YouTube. In terms of aftercare, when you've already taken your stitches out, you basically just want to keep keeping it clean. You can use Hydroid cream on the area in order to kind of help with if you keloid at all. This depends on the type of skin that you have. I keloid, so I tend to use Hydroid on that. You can use aloe vera. Fresh aloe vera is great, but you can get it in a tube as well. And I'm going to be putting a silicone patch on this one because it's a reopen. So I'm going to be trying to make the scar as soft and pliable as possible so that it does not pop open again. You can massage it, like the way you massage a scar is basically like this. You just want to kind of like break up the skin that's going to be forming under it, like this. And you can do this anywhere. So when I have like new scars on my face or something, when I'm like sitting in traffic or if I'm like talking to someone, sometimes I'm just kind of like doing this to massage my scar out. So that's how to take stitches out. Not difficult, especially if you can see it. Just be in a well-lit area. If it's in your own face, obviously you're going to be using a mirror, which is a little bit tricky because you're trying to figure out which direction you're going, but it's actually really, really simple and easy to do.